Hello everyone, the Skilled Roy here, back with another Project L video. Just recently, Season 2021 roadmaps came out for the various League of Legends games, and unfortunately, no Project L to be seen. However, not all is lost. I'm here to talk to you guys today about some possibilities and some possible dates that you should be looking towards for any new information. Now, why am I holding out hope for Project L this year? Wasn't nothing revealed at the season start? Yet, nothing regarding new titles was shown during the reveal stream, but that's just it. Project L isn't the only thing that's coming out from Riot. Ruined King, the RPG, and Arcane, the TV show, both had release dates at one point, and they should be coming out soon. Ruined King had been delayed from early 2021, and Arcane had been delayed from last year. These are two projects that haven't had any update for when they're supposed to happen yet. This means that Riot, despite launching multiple roadmaps, specifically avoided talking about upcoming new games and League-related products. The fact that they didn't mention Ruined King or Arcane, despite both coming out sometime this year, means that Project L and Project F both have a chance to appear. And if you don't believe me, we even had Rioters tweeting out explicitly that this stream did not cover everything, and there was still much more to share. Now with that little hype introduction for you guys, let's talk about when. When can we possibly expect to hear more Project L information? I'm going to run you through some possible guesses, and we'll talk about the typical counterpoints to each of them. Now, date number 1, EVO. It's obvious that EVO is a possible place for Riot to announce Project L. As the largest fighting game tournament in the world, it has a great deal of prestige, and this is why many developers and publishers choose to reveal their fighting games there. EVO announcement reaction videos and the like have been around since forever, and one listen to them can show you exactly why. Now, EVO is most notably owned by the Cannon brothers, the same brothers who are now working on Project L. They also clearly understand the importance of the tournament because before Riot even showed off that infamous Darius vs. Ahri footage, the Riot fighting game was actually first confirmed at EVO.
And I want to be able to let people in on maybe like the worst kept secret in the universe, which is I can confirm that we are working on a fighting game for Riot.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
It isn't too unreasonable to expect some more news at EVO, but here's where things start getting a little dicey. First of all, most of the world is still suffering dramatically from COVID, and last year when COVID was happening, they opted to make EVO Online. This meant that it'd be a much different sort of event, and the dates were stretched out much differently rather than just the one weekend EVO is normally accustomed to. Assuming any big news drop would happen around the final date, this would likely mean that if there were to be Project L information at an upcoming EVO Online, it would be late July. Yet of course, as we all know, right after EVO Online's announcement went out, the event was cancelled, meaning that we truly have no basis for what an EVO Online might look like, or if even announcements might still be there. So I did a little research. On EVO's website, it actually even says the words returning in 2021. Now this is pretty hopeful, except it went up after EVO Online was announced, not in response to EVO being cancelled. This means that due to the controversy around EVO, it's possible that the tournament might not come back this year. After all, multiple publishers, developers, and games left EVO in the wake of those issues. Who knows how many more are willing to even come back. EVO is an incredibly powerful brand in the FGC. Likely more people know about EVO than any other tournament. From EVO Moment 37 to surprise character reveals, the tournament has always been iconic and synonymous with surprise and excitement. If we do see Project L information there, it'll typically be on the final day, which is either, like I said, end of July or beginning of August. However, there is another EVO-related date. If we assume that EVO is going to be online this year as well, due to the current pandemic that is currently happening, their game lineup will have to include fighting games that have strong netcode. As the lead developer of GGPO, Tony Cannon, he's also working on Project L, so it's pretty easy to say that Project L will also have good netcode. Therefore, it stands to reason that another possible EVO date is actually the EVO lineup day. Imagine it, if you will. They announce which games are going to be at EVO, and at the end, the final game, Project L. Now, of course, that is just one possibility. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's at least something to make sure you're staying aware of because it's a non-zero chance of that actually happening. Now, the next day you should be aware of, the 5-year anniversary of the Radiant purchase. So for those of you who don't know or haven't watched any sort of coverage on this game, Project L was actually being made by the team who used to work on Rising Thunder. The team was originally called Radiant Entertainment, and in March 2016, Radiant was purchased by Riot. And ever since that happened, people have been hypothesizing what they could be working on. And nowadays, we know it's actually going to be Project L. Keep in mind, though, that the Rising Thunder is beloved by the people who played it, and Radiant gave back the community a couple years after they got bought by giving them a community edition, which allowed the players to still continue to play the game while they were working on Project L. With the Cannon brothers in charge of Project L, it's very possible that they might want to give back to the community one more time with an announcement on the 5th anniversary of Radiant's purchase. The exact date was March 8th, 2016, so it's relatively soon. Then finally, the next date to watch isn't exactly a date, but rather a time period. I mentioned in the introduction that Project L isn't the only new Riot game or development, and in fact there's actually quite a few, but the time period I'm going to be referring to you all is any time after Wild Rift, Rune King RPG, and Arcane are all fully released. It has become relatively evident to me, at least, that they don't want to oversaturate how many games they're putting out, so they're going to be pacing themselves and splitting up the releases. Rune King the RPG and Arcane both actually had release windows originally, but were delayed. Given that Project L doesn't even have a title, much less a release window, I think it's fairly fair to say that Rune King and Arcane will both come out sooner than Project L. This means at minimum, you're going to have to wait for those two to come out. Now this is probably worth another video, but Riot implied during the Season 2021 recap that we would be able to play the Rune King RPG before the second champion of this season came out. That would put it historically before April at the absolute latest. So therefore, the Rune King RPG will probably be sometime in February and March. As for Arcane, unfortunately, I just don't know. It was intended to be released in 2020, but was delayed, and since then has been unfortunately rather radio silent. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, your current dates to watch. Early February for the EVO lineup announcement, March 8th for the 5-year anniversary of the Radiant purchase, sometime after the Rune King RPG and Arcane, which is roughly Q2 of 2021, and then finally EVO itself, which is the end of July or beginning of August. And of course, there's a total possibility that they just shadow drop this or do a random stream sometime in the middle of a month. There's no real way to say, but these are the most significant dates that are relevant to Project L, and hopefully we'll have at least more information after these time periods. Of course, this is again still assuming that the game will be releasing in 2021, which is my fervent belief that it will. But otherwise though, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you guys want to stay up to date with the latest news and my theories, you guys can join the Project L Discord. We have just north of 700 members right now. It's an absolutely fun time there. We play various games, have a good time, play Rising Thunder, all that good stuff. If you want to be up to date with any of everything, you need to be there and in the Discord. Otherwise though, I would appreciate a like, a subscribe, and any comments on your theory on when Project L might come out. But otherwise though, thank you again so much for watching. I will catch you guys next time. Peace out.